All right. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our safety and wellness virtual Q&A session. Today we have our presenters, both from the Grand Valley Police Department and from the Grand Valley Health Center. I'm going to let them introduce themselves here.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeff Stoll. I am Captain and Assistant Director here at Grand Valley State University, working with the Police Department, and I've been here just over 13 years. And I will lead you to Susie Zimmer.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks, everyone. I am Susie Zimmer. I am the office manager for the Campus Health Center, the Metro Health Campus Health Center that is on the Grand Valley campus in Allendale. We are located right by the water tower. Yeah.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Justin Sims, and I'm the Parent and Supporter Orientation Coordinator here at Grand Valley. We're excited to be with you today, again, to discuss our safety and wellness virtual Q&A. Before we begin, I do want to mention a couple things here. This session is being recorded and will be posted on our Parent and Supporter Orientation website if you'd like to rewatch this session or if you were not able to attend the live session this afternoon. This Q&A session will be conducted under the assumption that you have already viewed both the safety and the wellness video presentation found on our Parent and Supporter Orientation website. This Q&A is an opportunity for you to ask follow-up questions based on the information that you might have seen in those videos. There's a lot of great information in there, so if you have not seen those videos yet, I would definitely recommend taking a look at those today. I will put a link in the chat box to those videos as well. How today's going to work is our presenters are going to run through a couple of short PowerPoint slides highlighting information about their areas, and then we will open it up to questions from the audience. We will be utilizing the chat box feature for this Q&A portion, so please feel free to use that. And now I'm going to hand it back over to Jeff to begin his presentation.
Okay, thank you, Justin. Our police department is a full-service police department here on campus, working 24/7, 365. We have a presence in both the Allendale and Grand Rapids campuses. And much like every other department here at Grand Valley, our focus is on successful completion of education by the students. And our responsibility is to maintain their safety while they're on campus. And so they're our focus with students and certainly staff, faculty, and other visitors. But with 25,000 students, we definitely are in place to try and help educate them and keep them safe and keep our community safe. In a lot of ways, we're just trying to get them to graduation just like anyone else. And sometimes I tell their parents that we're kind of like the guardrails. If they get off the road, it's our responsibility to get them back on as they move on their pathway towards success. One of the other big topics related to us is parking on campus. Parking permits just recently became available to order online. Whether you are a commuter or a resident, you are required to have a parking permit on campus. One of the questions that we get is related to whether or not a first-year student should have a vehicle on campus. That's a discussion that you need to have with your student. There's pros and cons to that decision. Certainly the cost of the permit, as you see up there, around $400, $500, plus the associated cost with gas and insurance, makes that a potentially impactful decision. I'll tell you that there's a lot of first-year students that don't have a vehicle on campus, and they utilize our bus system, which is free for all students to utilize the Rapid, both the campus connector and the off-campus shuttle. So they can get to a lot of different places without a vehicle. So discussion for you to have that could, go either way. It's just important that you have that discussion. So that kind of gives you an overview about us, and then I'll turn over to Susie, and she can cover the basic components associated with the health department.
Thanks, Jeff. For the Campus Health Center, new this year are some extended hours. Our office is open on Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Fridays will be open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. With everything going on with COVID and everything else, if we need to add more hours in, it is something we are definitely going to have to look at, and we'll assess that at the time. At the Campus Health Center, we have an x-ray person on site to do those x-rays. We can draw blood and send those to the lab. We also have a medical social worker, Michelle, and we have a full-time RN named Renee. to help us with some of the education stuff with students. We have 3 providers there. Dr. Carolyn Beal does primarily sports med while at the office, with Rocio and Kate picking up more the physicals and sick visits. There is an option for Metro Health to have an app on your phone called MyChart. It's very easy through that app to schedule appointments, see your test results, and ask your doctor questions, request refills, all of that. So we do recommend getting that MyChart app for your students.
All right. Thank you, Jeff and Susie, for that information there. Now we would like to open it up to the group for some questions. Again, we will be utilizing the chat box feature for this portion of the session. So feel free to type your questions in there, and then I will read them aloud for Jeff and Susie to answer. So it looks like one of our first questions coming in here is, does the University Health Center accept private insurance, and is pre-authorization required?
So the health center does accept most major insurances. It's always best when your student's leaving and going to school somewhere else to call your insurance and let them know, so that as they start to see things come through, they know ahead of time what is happening. You do not have to switch your primary care to come to us, but you also do not need a prior authorization to come to see us either. And we will bill all insurances, whether we participate or not.
Right. Another question popping in here. Does the Grand Valley Police Department offer late night escorts across campus?
We do. We tend to avoid the term escort for any number of reasons. So that's why we have a safe walk program that students can utilize during the hours of 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. They just need to call our department at 616-331-3255. That's the number that's staffed by our dispatcher 24/7. Once they connect with them and request a safe walk, we'll have a student cadet that will walk them anywhere they need to be on the Allendale campus. Grand Rapids gets a little trickier just based on the location and layout of the campus area. So we aren't able to necessarily facilitate safe walks in its entirety downtown, but on the Allendale campus, with a broader footprint and generally more residents, we are able to offer this service. You just need to call and we'll be able to take care of you.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Another question that came in here is, where can my student get health care? Is there a location on each campus?
There is a location on each campus. They're both run by 2 different offices, but we do work very closely together. But one is downtown and one is on Allendale, and I run the Allendale one. We have an office right on the campus, and we also have another office on Lake Michigan Drive, not far from the campus, but it is not on the bus route. So that does cause a problem for some students. But yes, they can get health care at either one of those offices at any time. If there's a problem and it's after hours, all they would need to do is call, and the physician on call will walk them through where they need to go if they need to go somewhere.
Another question coming in here, a safety question. Where can I find information, or where can I find more information, about safety at GVSU?
So you can certainly go to our part of the website at gvsu.edu/DPS, standing for Department of Public Safety. That contains any number of information about our department, some of the services and programs that we provide. We're also pretty active on social media, both Twitter and Instagram at GVSU Police. Both of those are updated fairly regularly with information that is both proactive and reactive. We try and provide tips for students in the community to keep in mind, but then also updating them as things happen in and around the campus as well.
How does the University Health Center support mental health?
At our office, we do, as I said, have a social worker on there. Our providers also are very involved in helping with that and can reach out and building that bridge between Grand Valley has some staff on hand that can help, and our office has staff that can help in many other areas they can get you to and give you the resources you will need for any type of mental health issues. If you are currently on a medication, you would need to send those records to the office so they would have them on hand, and we can refill those meds for you if you're already on, or at least let you know if we can't refill those meds.
And a related question here that pops up too. Does the university have a pharmacy on campus, and can they refill existing prescriptions?
So the university does not have a pharmacy on campus. You would have to go to a pharmacy close by. There are several, and many of them are on the bus route. So if you don't have somebody that could take you, you could take a bus. I know some of the pharmacies also deliver.
Right, thank you, thank you. Are members of the Grand Valley Police Department also members of local or state police forces?
So we are our own entity. If you look at or think of, consider Grand Valley as a city, we're responsible for that within the confines of our community. Albeit it's a little bit smaller in terms of overall size, but when you look at the amount of people and also the amount of square footage in terms of buildings that we're responsible for, that size tends to expand. We do, however, work with a couple of partners in Allendale, the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office, downtown in Grand Rapids, with Grand Rapids Police Departments. So both of those relationships and interactions are very positive. We utilize each other for support and assistance in investigations where we may use them for things when students go off campus, and likewise if students come on campus. So those are good relationships that we work with. We're connected with a lot of those area partners, but we are separate from them in terms of the operations that we perform on the Grand Valley campuses.
Right. Thank you, Jeff. Lots of great questions so far. Thank you, everybody, for throwing those in there. Another question that we have here is, does or will the campus health center have COVID-19 tests available for students?
Yes, we will. We are close to hoping by next week to actually be doing COVID testing at the health center there on campus. It is not a rapid test, so it's not one that we're going to tell you a result within 10 minutes. It is 48 to 72 hours currently to get that result. So yes, we will have it, and hopefully we'll have plenty of them.
Absolutely. Any more questions here? Again, utilizing this chat box feature, these have all been great so far. And it's okay if the questions are starting to die down a little bit. We know it's a lot of information to process here throughout the session. But do remember that you can contact these individual departments at any time throughout the summer if more questions should arise. That happens here. If you would like a department to follow up with you specifically, please privately message me in the chat and with your contact info and which department you would like a follow-up from. As you can see here, we have both some contact information for the public safety department and the campus health center there as well. Jeff, Susie, do you have any final words to give to the audience about your presentation today?
The last thing that I would say as we're rapidly approaching, obviously, the start of the school year is make sure that you're engaging and interacting with your student about concerns that they have related to safety, alcohol, drug use. It's important to have those conversations open and together so you can help educate them. We do a lot of good education with our community police officers once the students get here, but we found it very helpful if parents and supporters are having those discussions ahead of time to at least help prepare them in that transition towards the early parts of the campus year.
And this is Susie. I would just like to add to please just be patient with everything going on with COVID right now. We've all been living in a world that changes rapidly, sometimes all day long. So know that we're all working together, Grand Valley and the Health Center and many other people, to keep your students safe and still be able to be in classes. So just be patient with us is all I ask.
All right. Thank you to Jeff and Susie for their time today. Thank you all for attending our session, and we look forward to seeing your student and yourself this fall here on campus. We will stick around for a few minutes if there's any questions that continue to pop up. Otherwise, have a great day.